Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of Out of the Box. My guest today is Shannon Knight. Hi, Shannon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's early. Shannon's like, hey, yeah, I'm available. Can you be here at 8? Joe doesn't do much before 8 anymore. It's been kind of weird. But we're going to talk about all things daycare and everything else here today. But before that, it's What's Up, Gafunk? Everything going on at Godfrey First United Methodist Church. So I'm going to run through some of these announcements. There's quite a few, so just bear with me. First of all, I want to remind you that the office hours are now 9 to noon, Monday through Friday. So if you need anything with Barb or anything to do at the church office, make sure that you make arrangements to be here between 9 and noon. Our change for September is going to the Oasis Women's Center. Last month it was to Lewis and Clark Elementary for teachers and principals to use for jackets, shoes, whatever kids need other than school supplies. And I want to thank you all for all your donations for not only the change for school supplies, backpacks. There were a lot of backpacks. Did you count, Sue, by any chance, how many backpacks? There was a lot. Did you count?
I think Barb put it out. I think it was like 30 something.
30, you know, that is right. Now you mentioned that. They had a goal of 30, and they had 30 backpacks plus extra supplies. So we have 30 backpacks. So thank you all for that and the change for change. But for September, it's going to the Oasis Women's Center. There's just a couple more weeks of Journey to Overcoming with Glenda Link and Connie Byer. There's a new Bible study on Sunday and Wednesday starting in October 2nd with Reverend Bill Pyatt, or Pastor Bill Pyatt, or just Bill, the guy that always speaks up and makes fun of Jay. You guys may know him by that. But he is going to start The Chosen on October 2nd. So look for more information on that in the coming weeks. Couple things quickly coming up. September 11th is National Grandparents Day, and we're going to recognize all of the grandparents in our congregation. Ann McLaughlin is putting together a special little thing for you guys. So September 11th. Also September 11th is GPS. GPS starts in the evening. We have 5:30 to 6 o'clock is our gathering time, and then 6 to 7:30 will be our lesson discussion time, and your kids are part of.
They are.
GPS. It's one of my favorite stories is Alyssa. You all know Alyssa. Alyssa was she's not really a youth group person. She had no interest in coming, and I would say, hey, all right, well, we're here if you want to come, just come. And then I kind of cornered her one day and said, all right, I'll make you a deal. You give me 3 weeks, and I'll never bother you again about it. And she said, okay, I'll give you 3 weeks. And now she rarely misses, except when she swims. Yeah, she rarely misses. She's in Ignite now too. She's just one of the best. I love Alyssa. She's great. She doesn't say a whole lot. It's so funny. I was thinking about this morning. She doesn't say a whole lot, but when she does, you better be paying attention, because she usually has something pretty profound with our lesson discussion time, or she's got a nice smart aleck comeback, which I love. She's got quick wit, yeah, so she's great. And then we get Colin coming this year.
Starting.
So Colin will be starting, so we're looking for that. So that's September 11th. So everybody mark your calendars. Anybody in middle school and high school are welcome to come to that. The Salad Bonanza, of course, is September 14th. You all have heard a lot about that. Be sure to get your tickets ahead of time so they can get kind of an idea of how many to expect. There will be tickets available at the door, so you don't have to let them know, but chances are you could come and they'd be out of Salad. Have you ever gone to that?
Oh, yeah, we go every year. We get tickets, and all of the daycare goes, and the line is long. So plan enough time to be able to stand in line and then have time to talk with the people that you want to. They do have to-go boxes, so you can get it and go, but you still will spend a little bit of time in line waiting.
Yeah, so
it's an awesome ministry.
That's very cool. The women, Methodist women, do a great job with that. It's from 11 to 1 on September 14th. You can also get carry-out, or not carry-out, you said carry-out. They have delivery.
Oh, I did not
know. For orders of 5 or more. So if you have a group order, you can contact them somehow. I'm not sure who to contact, Carolyn, or actually just call the office between 9 and noon. Call the office, and Barb will make sure that gets relayed to the Methodist women. On Sunday the 25th, we're having a pet blessing. You guys have pets at your house?
2.
What do you have?
We have 2 dogs, Italian Greyhound and then just big old furry mutt.
So the 25th, Pastor Jay wanted to have this in the morning. Everybody bring their pets to church in the morning. Man, you're asking for trouble there.
It might be a little crazy.
Coming inside and all that.
Yeah.
And then if you're here for an hour, this is way too long. So what we decided to do is going to be at 5 o'clock here at church. It's going to be outside. And it's only going to be about 15 minutes long. So you come, we do the blessing, whatever. You get to meet everybody's pets. We're going to have a pet photo booth. So that'll be fun. And then you can just go about your day. And GPS people will stay for GPS. So it's a chance for them to bring their pets as well. October 2nd, I want you all to mark your calendars for October 2nd. Sold Out will be here. As you know, Jason McAtee, our former director of music and worship, is part of that trio. It is now a trio instead of a quartet. Maybe if they need a bass singer, I might step in. There's a good chance I'll be singing bass in the back row anyway with them. But they'll be here on October 2nd. And
They put on a good show.
They really do.
It's powerful.
Of course, they've come here a couple times, but they were also in Carlinville one year, and we took the youth there to see them because it was an evening performance. And we had people go to the altar. They do a portion of their program is an altar call where people will come up, and we had a couple of our youth kids go up and do that, and it was pretty powerful. So they do a great job with that.
What time are they singing on the 2nd?
Thank you for look at that. It's at 10 o'clock. That's why I want to make sure you guys know it's one service at 10 o'clock. It is also World Communion Sunday, and we will be having communion that day as well. So a big day. After that, immediately following that, is Bill Pyatt's first session of The Chosen.
So bring your lunch and
bring
just spend the day here.
If the program ends at 11:30, he'll put about an hour in, so you're out of here about 12:30 or so. But it's a big day.
It'll be an awesome day.
It's a big day and well worth it. So plan accordingly on the 2nd. If you don't want to stay for that though, afterwards, he is also offering it at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. It'll be for 8 weeks, I think. Sue, is that right? 8 weeks? Mm-hmm. So, fun and excitement there. One final announcement, and then we're going to get to our game. We are planning a Christmas program. So, as you all know, we don't really have a choir going right now because COVID and just participation. Anyway, we're putting a family choir together, so anybody from the church, from GPS, from Ignite, from whoever, Methodist women, men, whatever, they are welcome, and their families are welcome to come and participate in this. Choir's going to sing a couple numbers. I'm going to get Ignite to come and sing a couple numbers. We're going to have a couple soloists, a couple ensembles, but we're also going to have Sherry Trusty playing the harp on that program. So I cannot wait for that. So really, it's going to be a Sherry Trusty harp program with all the other stuff is fluff. I think a lot of people are looking forward to hearing that. So if you want to participate in that and be part of that program as a member and a participant, we're going to be starting rehearsals sometime in October. So look for that information coming up soon. But mark your calendars for December 18th in the evening for that program. All right, that's our game. Or that's our What's Up to Fun. So here's our game. This is a game called Everybody Knows. These are things that, well,
everybody should know.
You should know. All right. So what fabric is made by worms?
Silk.
Silk. See, it's all easy until you're put on the spot.
It is.
Who watches over people swimming in a pool to keep them safe?
A lifeguard.
Lifeguard.
Or a mom and a dad.
There you go. All right, everybody should know this. It's a chocolate sandwich cookie with white cream filling.
Oreo.
Oreos. Well, the best cookie creation ever. You put Oreos in chocolate chip cookies, mix them. Oh, yeah, now you're talking. All right. What is the name of the original female Smurf?
Smurfette, isn't it?
Smurfette. I think the Smurfs were a little before your time.
A little bit. I watched them.
All right, yeah. What brand of toilet paper is squeezably soft?
Charmin.
Charmin. Was Mr. Whipple the spokesperson for Charmin? Do you remember? You remember when commercials were a thing?
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me. What is the hardest substance on Earth?
Rock? I don't know.
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. That's why they're a girl's best friend. That's what they say. All right.
That's on my birthstone.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Nice. How about that?
It's kind of lucky, but then everything's a diamond and you don't have all the color.
Susan's is garnet.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is. June. Pearl. It's pearl. I don't know. We're all starting each other like it matters. All right. In FBI, what does the F stand for?
Federal.
Federal. That is correct. What's the Loch Ness Monster of Scotland's name? They don't call it the Loch Ness Monster.
I was going to say the Loch Ness Monster. I have
It's got
no
a
idea.
name. Do you know?
I do not know.
Nessie. I didn't know that.
All right.
So everybody does not know.
Everybody does not know.
What's a dried grape called?
A raisin.
A raisin.
We tried to make those once.
Did you really?
Yeah, we took grapes and we put some in the air fryer and some in the oven, and you have to let them cook for hours and hours. We did something wrong. They were not very good.
That's great. Okay, which chess piece can jump over other pieces?
I have no idea. Chess is not a game I
Do you
ever
know, Sue?
learned.
No idea.
The knight. It's the only one that can actually go. Everybody else has to slide or, yeah. We're not going to do too many of these. How many degrees is in a right angle?
90, right?
90, yeah. All right,
You're bringing out the math questions.
what's the only planet in our solar system that's not named after either a Greek or Roman god?
Mars?
Earth.
Earth.
So do you
All
ever
right.
wonder who named Earth?
Yeah.
Who named? I don't know. Okay, one more. What is the name of Han Solo's ship in Star Wars? Oh, Shannon.
I'm not.
Don't
I'm
tell me.
sorry. I don't watch Star Wars. I'm sorry.
The Millennium Falcon. You knew that, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Of course you did. All right. So we are going to talk about, that was a fun game. We're going to talk about the daycare. So Shannon is the owner, I guess,
Yep.
technically, right?
Yes.
The owner of Little Knights Daycare, and they meet here at Godfrey First. So go. Tell us
All
about the daycare.
So, again, I'm Shannon Knight, and Little Knights has been a part of this church as someone who rents from this church for 9 years. I was an in-home before that, so I've been doing this a little over 12 years now. We are in the church building from 6:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. most days. We're noisy, but we have a lot of fun. We have 50 kids, and we have 12 staff. So we work really hard to make sure that all the kids get what they need and deserve throughout the day. All of our class sizes are really small. Our biggest class has 12 kids with 2 teachers. So they get that one-on-one attention that they need and deserve. I am a for-profit. However, in 9 years, I really haven't had much profit. I turn that profit back around. I give it back to my staff. My staff gets health benefits. My staff gets vacation, so that you get that high-quality staff. Because from my perspective, while money's nice, your kids are your most precious
Right.
piece. And so, honestly, the daycare, I don't know if you plan to go this way, but the daycare is my God story. So,
So let me just say, we have no direction.
okay.
Out of the box is whatever comes out. I don't stop. I don't re-record. Whatever happens, happens. So tell us your story.
All right. So, the daycare is honestly my God story, because I was a teacher and I had been in the school district for 3-4 years by the time Alyssa was born. And then Colin is less than 2 years younger than Alyssa. So the school district I was in, I knew I needed a change. And I found out I was pregnant with Colin in April. And so I decided that I was going to interview for a new district. Well, I had also had a miscarriage, so my belly just like grew super, super big. So I'm going for these interviews in the summertime, and I'm not getting hired because, they can't ask whether you're pregnant or not, but I looked like I was going to give birth like the first week of school. So Colin was due in December, and I decided I would stay home for a year, do an in-home to bring in a little extra money, and then once he was born, I could start interviewing for jobs and go back into the school district. So Colin had other plans. Colin came in November, and before he was 6 weeks old, we were already at the doctor for ear infections and health issues. And so by that point, I had hired an assistant in the daycare to help out so that I could take Colin. And that's even in itself, like opening a daycare in this area, you've got to know people. Mm-hmm. And I'm from Arizona. My husband's from St. Louis, so we really didn't know anyone. We had a daycare that we had gone to that was referring people to us. But by the time Colin was born in November, my daycare was full. And
so how many kids you have at home?
So at my home, I could have 8.
Okay.
And then with an assistant, I could have 12. So I was able to hire the assistant luckily before Colin came. Like the assistant had only worked like a week and a half before Colin decided he was coming early. And with my assistant, I was able to keep the daycare up and running while I was in the hospital with him. I know some people know, but Colin was hospitalized 13 times before he was 2. Mm-hmm. And sometimes those hospitalizations were only 24 hours. Sometimes we were in there for a week, week and a half. Well, a week is about the longest we were ever in.
Right.
But I was able to keep the daycare running. So then the church moved all kind of in that time. So Colin was born in 2010. That's about the time the church had moved over here just a little bit before that. The church had moved over here in like 2009. And we started coming to church when Alyssa was just a few months old. And so we made some friends in the church and things like that. So we were still trying to sell Grace Street at that point. Mm-hmm. At that point, Pastor Don was here, and I went to him and I said, have you ever thought about like a daycare at the Grace Street to give some income and that kind of stuff? So Pastor Don and I went over there and we looked at it, and it was just not set up for that daycare. So that was 6-8 months. And then this church had a after school program. It was just for school age kids. It was before and after school. They had it for years and years and years. And then that program.
Safety Bunch.
Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. I knew Safety was in there.
Those of you that were here at the time, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the owner or the people that ran Safety Bunch decided to move. So then the church was looking for something to come in and use some of the space, but they really didn't want to have the tax ID, that kind of stuff.
Right.
At that point, I had a wait list at my house. So Craig Davidson, Pastor Don, lots of trustee members, like we all sat down, we worked out budget, we worked out what rooms, we did all of that stuff. And so we moved over here. And again, at that point, I still wasn't quite sure if where my plan was going. And we've been here 9 years. Our wait list is over a year long. I have 5 amazing staff members that have been with me since pretty much the get-go that help run this place when I need to take that step back or that step away. Mm-hmm. And I hope you guys out there have heard good things in the community. A lot of my staff, when we go out in uniform, we'll get a lot of people that say, "Oh, I've heard about you," or, and that's what we want to be. We're part of the community. And so we sponsor some things in the church. Little Knights helps sponsor some of Ignite and GPS stuff. We've also given to other things that are going on in the church. We do our own fundraisers. Like we pick something that's happening in the church. We have, or in the daycare, we have a little one that has severe muscular dystrophy. So every December we raise money for something like that or some type of campaign. We sponsor park and rec activities. And so we want to make sure that we're out in the community helping. We partner with St. Gabriel and Cedarhurst. We partner with the Garden. We want to be a part of the community. We also want to be part of Godfrey First. Like we do some things with the church. We've talked about at times doing a little bit more, but while we're a place to take care of kids, you can't take care of kids unless you have the community behind you. And so that is like my big focus and goal, is to be part of that community. And so that way, while we're a name of daycare, we're also, oh, you're a part of
Right.
what Godfrey is.
So you said you have 50 kids
We have 50 kids.
here now? What is, so DCFS is who regulates or whatever
Correct.
oversees everything here. What is the ratio, if you needed more kids, because you just had more staff, or how would that work?
So, no, because of the way our rooms are, we've capped them. And so DCFS has said we could technically put a few more in the rooms, but we made DCFS put our cap at 12, so there wasn't that, oh, well, we'll just throw a few more in.
Right.
But so in our infant room, we have 5 infants. We have 2 teachers. State said you could actually have 8 infants with 2 teachers. And in our preschool room, we have 12 kids with 2 teachers, where you usually have 20. And
Yeah, I can't imagine 20 kids
but
with
even if you
preschool,
have
that's-
the absolute best teacher in the whole entire world, if you have 20 kids, you can't be meeting each kid where they need to be. Some kids
Oh,
have
that's tough. Yeah, that's tough to manage. I've taught preschool before. That's tough.
where if you have 12 kids with 2 teachers, you're a lot more likely to be able to, if that kid is having a rough day or just needs that little bit extra, you can give it to them.
Right.
And so again, we're focused on the kids' care and making sure that they get what they need. We work on a lot of independent skills. Our kids usually love going to kindergarten because while we do everything play-based. So what that means is we don't do worksheets or that kind of stuff. But by the time our kids go to kindergarten, they know how to walk in a line. They know basic letters, numbers. They know that kind of first few weeks of school. So then school's fun,
Right.
and they're just learning the rules. And so then once school gets a little bit trickier, they're already comfortable.
Right. So that's something many people may not be aware. It's not just babysitting.
Right.
I mean,
No.
you're a preschool.
Yeah.
Are you technically a preschool? I don't know if there's.
There's really not too many. We are accredited, so that means that we've gone over and beyond what the bare minimum is.
Okay.
And so we work on making sure that higher part, and part of that's our lower ratios, part of that's our curriculum that we make sure that our kids are doing. We're loud, but we have a lot of fun. If you really listen, like you have your kids that are upset, which again, they have to learn their emotions. But if you really listen, there's usually a lot of kids having fun. They're inventing some kind of new game or playing choo-choo or, so, yeah.
I love the times when I've been in my office working and the kids go out. There's nobody out at the playground yet. I had this, so hopefully we might see some a little bit later maybe. But they walk by my office and they all wave. And then Megan, one of your teachers, I guess, are they called teachers?
Yeah.
Okay. She knows that I go by Mr. Awesome. So now I got all these kids that walk by. Hi, Mr. Awesome. They're awesome. They're great kids. But yeah, they can be loud.
They can be.
They can be loud. I have no idea where I was going with my next question. I did have a question. I can't think of it. So what are some things outside of school and community stuff? You guys have programs during the year.
We do.
So tell me about what programs you
Okay.
do during the year.
So again, we want the kids to be able to, kids will go home and tell their parents they know so-and-so. So we try to make some events where the parents can get to know each other as well. So at Christmas time, we have a Christmas performance where all of our kids sing a few songs, and it's really cute to see your little 3-year-old up there waving and singing some songs to you. At Christmas time, we have Santa that gets to come, and Santas come every year, and so that's a big part. Our kids are excited to see Santa. We do a Mother's Day and a Father's Day breakfast. We are hoping this year to put Grandparents' Day breakfast back in, but we're just not quite ready. We have taken COVID, we talked that COVID word, but we've taken it very, very seriously. Again, I go back to Colin having health issues. We have other kids. And so we just weren't quite ready to bring that much of the community in. We were able to do our Mother's Day and Father's Day breakfast this year.
And your kids were all still wearing masks until when?
Until late April.
Okay.
We didn't even allow parents in the building until late April. They would come to the door and pick up their kids, and we would talk to them at the door. But We do Mother's, Father's Day. In the summer, we do a preschool graduation and a summer performance where, again, all the kids get to sing. Our preschool graduation, we do slideshows of the kids throughout their years here. So it's another time for all of those parents to get to know each other. We do a trunk or treat. We do keep our trunk or treat for just our kids, for ours. And again, that's a way for parents to get to know each other and just kind of keeping it small. And I'm sure there's other things we do. Oh, we do a big Halloween parade. And if I was gonna say you're usually not here quite as early as what we do it, but we'll parade through for Barb and Pastor Jay, and sometimes the people from Cedarhurst will come over and sit and watch us parade around and show off our costumes. And again, seeing a whole bunch of 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds walking around in costume, it makes your day. Like,
that's right. Yeah. So I wanted to just make clear for those that aren't really aware, but you've mentioned it, we've talked about it, but to be clear, Little Knights is a tenant here, technically. They're not a ministry, technically, of Godfrey First, but they're a vital part of our existence. And I know many of you may not think so, or what does that have to do with it, but the church is alive during the week. I mean, we do our little part on Sunday mornings, but during the week, there's stuff going on here. I mean, it's busy. Kids are learning how to be good students, how to be good social people, whatever, I don't know what you want to call it. It's a great, great thing, and we need to be thankful for you and for the daycare being here, because you are a vital part of the livelihood here at Godfrey First. So with that, what else can we do for you? I already know the answer.
Yeah, so part of it is just we really work on sharing. That's part of being kids. And so we are more than welcome to share spaces. There's a group that comes in on Thursdays that has is Arnie still running that group? Mm-hmm. So Arnie runs a prayer group. And so they come in and we've talked to them. Okay, what can we do to help you? What can you do to help us? Those kind of things. I will say on Sunday mornings, the kitchen, like I'm so grateful that we're able to have that community time of sharing food, but then food is left. And so then on Mondays when we come in to start our cooking, we're cleaning up.
So that's a good thing that I wanted to remind people of, is that, you know, we can come and do our thing on Sundays or whatever we do during the week and we can leave it and no big problem. But the health department checks to make sure you're doing stuff right. DCFS checks to make sure we don't have the health department and all that coming to make sure we're doing Sunday mornings, right?
Right.
So we need to be aware of some of the things that we're doing. That's kind of the point of me getting to this question, because I already know the answer. We've got to, not just what the daycare needs are, but what the health department requires of you. We've got to remember those kinds of things. If we're going to share our space, we got to make it shareable, and we don't want you guys to get in trouble because we made some stupid mistake.
We don't mind you using toys. You know, I know we have kids that come with people that come with grandkids. Don't mind, but please leave them in the room that you found them in, so that, because again, if we go back to DCFS, which is Department of Children and Family Services, they have a requirement of how many of each type of toy. So we have to have so many blocks, so many this, so many that. And if toys get moved around too much, then those numbers aren't quite right for the classrooms.
Right.
And then when someone comes in and wants to play with the trains, they're not there. So we don't mind people using them, but I don't mind people playing out on the playground. We have an awesome playground for the littler ones, but make sure you put the stuff back. It is windy, and so if you leave all those balls out, sometimes they find their way.
Right. And I know sometimes when it rains, you guys will do stuff in the sanctuary, or you'll do stuff I know you've done stuff in the choir room before, or whatever else. We just got to make our space available to each other. Guys, we've talked about this for a few months now, that we need to be a church, not just in the community, but for the community. And we've been a church in community with each other for 9 years now. And it's been a huge thing. We have just like half a minute left before we try to keep it at 30 minutes. Anything else you want to add about it that I have forgotten to ask you about? Or
No, I mean, we love being here. It's a perfect space for the needs of the kids that we have, and I feel like I feel like we're moving along.
Yep. Godfrey First, my message to you, it'd be a huge, huge loss if we lost the Little Knights Daycare from our church. So let's do whatever we can to make this coexistence as peaceful and accommodating as much as we can, because we need each other.
We do.
Right? So before we close, one little quick story. Tell us about when you tried to drive through the field, Shannon.
I don't drive through the field anymore.
I almost did it a couple weeks ago. We were out driving around in the Jeep, and I'm like, it was dry, and I knew it was, I'm like, let's just try it. And
I wouldn't have gotten caught if the parish wasn't in the same neighborhood as this area. I would have had it towed out before they would have even known.
we've all tried it. We've all at least thought about it. It's just, anyway.
Yeah, it's their tire marks are still there if you want to go look. There's some tire marks there from me.
Minivans don't go off-road very well.
Minivans do not go off-roading.
All right, that is the end of this episode. Shannon, we want to thank you for everything you do, not only with Little Knights, but for Godfrey First. And let us know if you need anything from us.
I appreciate it.
We're here to help out. That is episode 16 of Out of the Box. Blessings, Godfrey First.